briefly story. Right, so now talk about the world scientists. Of course, this is like in the world, there's many scientists, right? And who can qualify in this system. This system is launched, I think, a couple of years ago by two famous doctors, and they rank for the university, subject, country, region, in the world. And I just searched my name, and I thought, oh, my name there, and few days later, I found my picture also there. So I think, oh, good. I feel good about that. And I was like, oh, could I share something related to that journalist? Of course, I'm not the world scientist. I'm just a world scientist. Okay, that you can be, right? You can be someday soon, very soon. But I'm not a top scientist in the world. Because many big guys over there, ahead of us, ahead of me, we still have a long journey to go. We will not compete with them. We just admire them, honor them, and so be grateful that we are on the same track and on the same journeys, right? So the question is, do you want it? Right? So you want to be good at something before becoming it, right? So what you be good at now, right? Think about that question. And if you are not good at that, try to improve, try to learn. Learn as much as possible. Don't wait until you're old and learn. Very slow, right? Take a lot of time to sacrifice so many things, especially when you have family. Right? So learn as much as possible and have a target, have aim, and have a dream, so you can become it. Otherwise, you become no one, right? Nobody. All right. So question is, why could I, right? Why could I to become a scientist? So there's many visions to become a scientist. Many people, different, very successful. This is the top 75 scientists in the world. They share their vision, right? So what is your vision to sit in this seminar, in this webinar? What the reasons for you to become a scientist and a world scientist? Think about that. Many say, oh, for a better life, right? Think about, oh, I will gain a good salary income. That is very, pragmatic thinking. But you will not move too far, because many of us get a PhD and they stop doing research, right? They start to make money, right? And they have spent less time for doing research. So income, salary, better life is not the motivation. Not the motivation. Right? So what is the vision? Many visions, many good visions over here. Right? Curiosity about the world. Right? How far the moon is from Earth, right? How big it is. So many, physicists already success about, they start from curiosities about that and they become the scientists, physicists, right? And be inspired by others, inspired by others, and some encouragement, right? Some encouragement from family, right? Professor, right? Supervisor, and many of you will start with many simple reasons that, especially you are in the medical science field, medical and health science field. You want to save life. You want to save life. For example, right now we are under pressure, bad hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, right? And many of them want to invent, right? Try to investigate the vaccine, right? Create a new one. Not just on the vaccine, but also non-pharmaceutical approach, public health approach. Many other can save life, and I hope that some of them are here. They create different platform, online consultation, who have the patient, COVID-19 patient at home, who can connect with them by phone, by Zalo, by many channels that ask the question. So those medical healthcare workers can consult them, can advise them what to do, because we don't have enough hospitals, right? So we start to doing that, and we start to study about that, right? First you work and save life, and you think, oh, there's some problem I need to solve, so I want to study. So you save life. And for example, like discrimination, racism, right, and many other things. For children, elderly people, have disadvantaged people, the vulnerable people. So you have to advocate. This is the vulnerable people. We need to support them. We need to help them. So advocating. And some of you may think very big, like, oh, in the whole country we don't have a scientist. So I want to be one, right? I want to be the one. So it's also the motivation, right? So many visions, all right? You may have one for yourself. Now, another one is that this is very common business question, right? You may ask what, how, who, where, and why all the time. And even you know how to, you know how to do it, but you still cannot do it. What the reasons? You cannot say yes or no to that, right? So scientific sometimes is about WH question, but most of the time it's about yes/no question, right? If you want to do it, then you can, start to learn. And when you learn to do it, and you can ask, I will do it or not, right? So it's about the cycles between this WH question and also yes/no question, just to determine, right? Right now, you may ask like, wow, PhD or master is too hard. I want to quit, right? And you see in long times ago, people quit the PhD program is less. This is survival curve, right? You survive longer, it's better. But it drop like this, it's so many, okay? So this is a dropout rate for the PhD through the years, through the time. And this one, this is on the inside higher education. The latest one is on the data on 10 years ago, but you see still, even now it's higher, right? People drop more, they give up on the academic journey. You may be one of them if we don't keep, moving forward. Sometimes I'm also think about that, right? I was thinking about whether I quit and get some job. And I think some of you also the same. But if you want to, just keep go ahead, right? Keep going ahead. And if you still stay in the academia, and you say whether you are stay actively in this field or not, this is a new report show that you can read it. Right, so it's hard to do research, and it's hard to stay actively in the academics. Yeah. Right. And many of you are PhD and going to graduate or already graduated. You may ask whether postdoc is good for your career. The answer is yes and no. If you want to continue your academic career, and you can certainly say, yes, I should do some couple months, years in the postdoc, but don't stay too long, right? Don't stay too long in postdoc. Usually 3 years is good enough, right? You can do it 1 or 2 years. But if you stay like 5 years, 7 years postdoc, well, that is not good. They would say, many of us will say, well, you're not active enough. You're not, proactive in your research career. Just depend on your advisor and other. So postdoc good, but don't stay too long, okay? And if you don't want to stay in the academics, then no need to do postdoc. Just get a PhD, then you can do other things. Right, so if you choose to stay in the academics areas and you're doing scientific research, you should balance your work and life. this is the trend for different level of, researchers. If you are early career researcher as a student, PhD, master, this is your time. Research activity is small because you need to do the lab, you do analysis, many other things, and you spend less time for, self-care. But then later, getting old, you have many health problems, and you need to spend more time for your health. Right? So that is the trade-off. But you have to balance between work and life, right? Now, this is my academic approach. Many of you will try to get published, but publish is not enough. Right? You need to have a project. You need to have money, right, to run it, to collect the data, to analyze the data, to buy the machine, to buy equipment, to rent the people to run it, right? You cannot do it yourself all the time. And you need to have a good projects, good idea, and to generate more data, and you can publish more. So if you don't have money, then what is exceptional? Well, this is my experience that I run so many projects, many of them with no money in my pocket, right? But how I can still do that, right? How could I still do that and do it very well? So here is the trick. Here is the tactic. Here's a tip. You need to build up yourself, competitive, right? Competence, commitment, and contributions to whoever, whatever institutions that you can contribute, can commit to, right? So they can submit you one day. Try to connect with the network. For example, you attend this webinar, you try to connect to many others in the webinars and try to connect them. And also join the platform. Knowledge Bridge is one of them. You can join and be part of it, and you can be, get help from them, from other people. And also, you need to build the trust about people and people, interpersonal interaction, right? So all of these skill and knowledge and skill, and also some related trust and also commitment, all of these. So what is the most important one? Can decide on the others, right? Think about it and also improve it. Right, now this is the philosophies. You always talk about the passion. When I love something, I will be success, right? Many people fail until they're getting old. Even they still keep passion, but they fail, get no success at all in their life, right? And some people, even they don't have passion, but they still success. And when they succeed, right, and they get the passion, right, they have motivations to do more. Right? So when you have passion, and when you're beginning, young researchers, you have to be self-motivated, resilient. You senior, you should have vision, creative, right? And be open-minded all the time, and be the idea creator. So that's why I try to encourage our research team, think about what is a new idea that you want to do, right? Not just only analyze my idea, but you have to create your own idea, because your idea may be better, much better than mine, okay? And if you are senior, you should be the inspirational one, be the effective communicators, and be the successful creators, right? Be the success creators, so you can inspire more people join you on the journeys, right? So with that, thank you very much and welcome to the spaceship of the academics. And science is strongest when we go together. We need to create the part work, the